WWE All Stars is a unique wrestling game. I remember seeing this game for the first time, and I will admit I didn't feel exactly excited for it at first. I sort of just read articles here and there just to see what was in it, and I was going to buy it and just see what it's all about. There was another game called WWE Brawl, which was actually similar to this game, at least from the trailer it did. Sadly, this game was cancelled for an unknown reason, or maybe there is a reason, I just don't know. This game, WWE All Stars, was also near release too. It's just this game did not get cancelled. The game did have the same publisher, THQ, but apparently Yuke's were not the developers for the game. THQ San Diego developed it, according to Wikipedia. Now this is according to Wikipedia, so if I am wrong, blame Wikipedia. I'm just saying. I think the game looks great in my opinion. It doesn't have graphics like the WWE games we get every year, but I still like the look of the game. The arenas are altered and still resembles the real arenas in ways, but they look pretty big, bright and colourful, and I like that. Obviously this is not just a normal wrestling game we get every year. This dude right here, Saul DeVita, wanted a different approach to it, so they made wrestlers look like giants. I mean, even people like Big Show were bigger, and Rey Mysterio looked like a beast. But seriously, I actually loved it. According to Wikipedia, Saul DeVita also produced the WrestleMania, the arcade game. Sadly, I never actually played that game, but I would love to try it out. Now, when wrestlers perform moves, they fly straight into the air and come crashing down into the canvas, even outside. But you know, you'd actually never actually fall into the crowd or something like that. I actually thought that when the game was being developed. Maybe if you go really high in the air, you fall into the crowd, but that doesn't happen. Now, it's like, in my opinion, it's actually like Tekken and WWE got together and produced this game. And you're probably going to say, well, WWE All Stars is nothing like Tekken, idiot. Why compare the two? Well, don't get too angry about it. It's just my opinion. I just love the high impact and the giant models. It's different from what we actually get. I see the game as a fighting game and a wrestling game together, but more of a fighting game. You will not see mat-based wrestling. It's pretty much all high impact, and that's pretty damn cool. I do have to point this out, but while playing this game for the first time, I did notice something similar to it. It's like I saw an aspect to it before, like the entrances and just some moves. Yeah, I'm talking about TNA Impact, the video game. You see, the developers worked on this game at Midway San Diego, so they actually added similar aspects in WWE All Stars that you saw in TNA Impact. Some moves were actually taken from that game and put into this game. Why? Well, I don't know. Things like entrances are even like TNA Impact. None of them make it to the ring. They're like, what, 10 seconds long? I mean, why don't they ever get to the damn ring? Is it too difficult for them to make animations for wrestlers getting into the ring? I'm just saying. But hey, no disrespect to TNA Impact, the video game. That was a good game for a while. Like any wrestling game, there are match types, like one-on-one, triple threat, extreme rules, and more. But my favorite match in this game was actually the steel cage match. Now, in reality, I hate watching steel cage matches because they're so boring nowadays. But in this game, you can pretty much execute crazy moves in this match. High impact happening everywhere. It was pretty sick. I would have thought Extreme Rules would have been my favorite match, but it's still a fun match too. Yeah, the match types are pretty basic, but that's fine. It's not supposed to be complex or diverse. Just like Legends of WrestleMania, this game also has an arcade style to it. Another wrestling game not to be taken seriously, so don't expect your typical 30-minute, mass-based, 5-star wrestling match. Everything in this game is completely exaggerated. I remember one aspect of the gameplay that did bug me though. I'm just gonna say, if you have a finisher, please use it straight away. You see, there is an option to store it, but it can be gone in a second. You see, if you get hit by your opponent, I mean, just a little hit, your finisher's gone. And yeah, that store option is pointless. The reversing was also like TNA Impact. As soon as you see the L1, you gotta press it at the exact same time as you see the L1. You may ask, well, that's normal, you fucking idiot. Well, I know that, but when you see L1, you gotta press it straight away. You only see L1 on the screen for like half a second, so you gotta have perfect timing when reversing. It's actually pretty difficult for me. There is a story mode. It's called Path of Champions. You choose a wrestler and become a champion. For example, there are 3 paths. Randy Orton's path, where you try to become a WWE champion. Undertaker, you try to become the World Heavyweight Champion. And DX, you try to become the Tag Team Champions. Of course, there are cutscenes here and there with a bunch of matches, so at least voice work was involved. It's not that bad, but I will say it's not for everybody. When I say it's not bad, I'm just speaking my own opinion, so I will say try it out and just have fun with it if you can. I did, and I did give it a chance. I thought it was alright, not the best, not the worst. I'm kind of in the middle with this one. I did go to such sites as IGN, GameSpot, GameZone, and more just to see other people's opinions on this game. You know, there wasn't a lot of hate. I did see some hate, but there wasn't a lot. I was expecting people to completely bash the game, but it actually got positive reviews. Sure, the game is over 3 years old now, and many people have probably moved on, but it's nice to look back at it and still feel positive about it. I'm sure some of you still have this game as a part of your collection, and if you do, that's pretty cool. WWE All Stars for me gets a 7.5 out of 10. So yeah, that's pretty much from me. I'm sorry about the short review, but I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye, and please, take care.